guys, it's Kelly. I'm back with a process video. Today is a fun day for me. I am participating in a video hop that was organized by Tuesdae, and in the details below I am going to list everyone that's in the blog hop and list it in order, so if you are starting with me you could just continue on with everybody else. And I think we have 11 girls participating, so I think that's pretty cool. So today I am using my hip kit, and I fell in love with that little bird paper by Pink Fresh Studio. If you have watched me for a while, you have heard me say before how much I love and adore little birds. And you know, my first instinct when I saw this paper was to hoard it. And you know, I didn't want to cut it. I didn't want to, I just like looked at it. You know, this is something I would frame and hang up. It is just one of those pieces of paper for me. But I decided that I was going to be a big girl and use it. And in the process of doing that, I had actually just watched Missy Whidden use the piece of paper as a background element, and she, you know, did her magic on it. So I thought, well, let me see what I can do. And you know, still make this my own. But she inspired me to actually use the paper and do a little mixed media on it as well. Now, part of the hop, we are supposed to use like either shimmers or some type of watercolors, inks, mist, anything like that. And I pulled out my new shimmers. For my birthday, I treated myself to several of the watercolors. They have them in like a set, and so I just bought one of the sets to see how they are. And I will link all that on my blog because I don't have the colors in front of me. So I decided that I am going to use this really pretty pale peachy pink. It matches the Pink Fresh papers very well, and also the colors that are in the photograph. This is just a picture of me and my two kids on Easter, and usually I don't end up making a layout on something as quick as this, and it was nice to do that for a change. So I'm just using the packaging technique that everybody has seen and probably tried, but if you are one of those holdouts who have not tried it, it really could not be easier. You just put a little bit of the color on and you smush it down, and that's it. So what I wanted to do with this paper is just do a little bit of mixed media under where I knew that the photo was going to go, and you know, the title. I wanted to kind of just make some of that background paper not disappear, but a lot more muted so that the photo would stand out. I don't typically use very busy background papers as my background, and when I do, I usually just do it in small increments, either like as a photo mat or as a border around the entire layout. So for me, this was definitely a departure from my norm, and you know, every now and then it's just really fun to do that. So one of the things that I have learned from watching other people and in just the bits that I have played around with is that the watercolors just look so much nicer when they are layered on top of each other. And then you can actually see the depth of the color, and there's more of that watercolor effect and the marbling, and it's just so pretty. So what I just did was added some more water with some of the more concentrated color, and then I did dry it. And I was in a hurry, which is why I did dry it. I prefer to let it dry on its own. I feel like it doesn't warp as bad, but I was in a playing mood, so I just decided to go for it. Now I pulled out this blue color as well. I wanted just like little hints of this blue. I am going to use that photo frame that is on the right hand side of my layout, and I just thought just little hints of that added would just be a nice little extra. I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to blend these two colors, which is why I dried it, and I didn't want a bunch of the blue. I just wanted little spots of it. So you'll see that I just do, you know, 2 or 3 different spots of it, and then that's it. It's, you know, like I said, I just wanted just little peaks of it. And in reality, once I get all the paper layers on, I think most of it's covered anyway, or it just blends into the background, so you really can't even tell that it's there. But that's okay. Sometimes that's just one of the things that makes mixed media fun, is trying to figure out what is going to work and what gives you the look that you're going for. So I keep on checking just to make sure that all of the mixed media is not going to be covered up. I knew that quite a bit would be, and that was fine. I just wanted to make sure that you could see little bits of that watercolor all around the photo cluster. So I backed the photo with some of the 6x6 Pink Fresh Studio papers, and I also used some tissue paper and a doily. The tissue paper is from Hazel and Ruby, and it's in one of those big rolls that you can get from Michael's. And I know that other places have them, I'm just not sure which. So I love these Pink Fresh title or words and things, but that loveliness was huge. And I just thought, I am not going to likely use that, so I'm just going to cut it down into, you know, a title that I will use. And while it's a generic title, I love the script of it, and I think it's pretty, and it just worked perfect on that frame and in that corner of the photo. So I'm just taking different bits and pieces and trying to figure out exactly how I want my clusters, and I liked the way that that was starting to turn out, so I did go ahead and decide to stick things down. And usually I will trim off the edges of the frame, or, you know, if I'm not using it all, but with this, it was only just like a slight line, and I wanted to have a little bit more adhesive under it, so I decided just to, you know, use the whole thing. I'd like to conserve my embellishments when I can, but I just felt like this was for the greater good. Sometimes things on a mixed media background need a lot more adhesive, and so I didn't want to mess with that. So I am going to use this pink little birdie as well on that top cluster. I just thought he made a sweet little addition, and it brought a pop of pink up as well. And I had, with that basic gray flower on the bottom right hand corner of the photo, I just wanted to bring that pink into another spot on the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and get my title down, and what I'm going to find when I stick it down is that I'm going to need to put a few pop dots underneath the frame, because there's a visible difference in the dimension of the words. So I just am able to pull it up because I haven't put a bunch of adhesive down underneath that frame yet, knowing that at the end what I'm going to do is go back and add some more quick dry adhesive just to make sure it stays. So I did enjoy this layout. I really liked playing with the Shimmers products, and you know, I think the best thing about it was the fact that I did not hoard this piece of paper. You know, it's so hard sometimes to use your favorite things, and you know, especially because you're like, I only have one sheet of this, what if I mess it up? I just decided that if I messed it up and hated it, I would just, you know, wait until I had something else to order, and I would just put another piece of paper in that order and just replace it, because, you know, in reality, it's what, $1, and you know, sometimes you just have to be bold and be brave. So on one of my last videos for the Crafty Maven, I lifted Missy Whidden, and she inspired me to use some of this tangled up thread, and I sew on a bunch of my layouts, but I usually just have the basic colors, you know, white, black, navy, red, and the metallic gold and silver. So with this line, I decided to get some colors that would go you know, with these papers. And so I went to Joann's and I had bought some yellow, pink, and some greens, and some of the turquoise blues. And I was just determined that on a couple of these layouts that I use the thread, and I really liked the little bit of just color that it gave to that. You really can't see it. It does blend into the paper just because it is a very busy layout, but I was very happy with the way that it turned out. So I did pull the washi that also came in the kit as well and just put a little bit down on that side, and I pulled out another one that had a phrase, and I was just going to see how it looked, but it kind of stuck down, and I just decided to leave it, and sometimes that's just the best thing you can do. So that's pretty much it for me, although I will say that I didn't see the stamping part that was mentioned on the video hop until afterwards. So in the close-ups you will see where I took a Felicity Jane heart stamp and I stamped it in some gray Avery L pigment ink. And it's just a very subtle nod to the heart theme, and you know, it really came out like a perfect little addition. You know, before I would have thought it's busy enough as it is, but this didn't take away from anything, and I think it just added. So thanks again for joining me, and please be sure to check out all the other girls in the hop. Again, the details are listed below. I hope you have, excuse me, sorry. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for joining me today.